a second time?
Yeah, each and every time, only one presentation will be there in the current.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
not a problem, sir. It will take only
Yeah,
a
yeah,
few seconds.
yeah, it's taking very less time. And sir, you did not call me, sir. I mean, you're much more elder than me.
No, no, not a problem. Okay.
Okay, I think it's uploaded.
Yeah, opportunities in industry after graduation. Yes,
Yeah.
we could
Okay.
able to see your presentation.
Okay. I'm not able to see mine. Let me do it. Okay, yeah, I can see mine. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
One second, please.
Sure.
இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் லைவ்ல தான் சார் இருக்கும் இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு போக சொல்லலாம் சார் எப்போ இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்கன்னு சொல்லுங்கள் சார் அன்மியூட் பண்ணிடுறேன்
Ram,
Sir,
you can unmute and start up.
sir, do you get any echo?
No, no.
When I speak, do you get any echo?
Just keep some distance.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can. I'll mute my.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, start up.
Yeah, shall we start, sir?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes,
Jhon, you can mute so that once Ram finished, you can start up. Yeah. Thank you. Ram, you can start up.
Okay, sir. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for accepting our invitation and joining our webinar on opportunities in industry after graduation. Talking about the speaker, Mr. Jhon, active IEEE member. He works with Amazon Development Center India currently. Without delaying much, I welcome you all and I thank Jhon for accepting our invitation and being a presentator here. Over to Jhon now.
Jhon, active IT member. He works with Amazon Development Center India currently.
So you guys can hear me now.
Yeah. You can proceed, Jhon.
I thank
Okay, I think I would need some of you guys to turn your microphone off because okay. Oh, hey, I don't hear my echo. If you guys have any questions, you can always drop it on the chat. All right. I'll just quickly open a different resource just to cross check and give me 1 minute. Cool. All right. So I just wanted to know how many IEEE members are there in the audience today? Right. Did you get my question? How many IEEE members are there in the audience today?
Hello.
You're now unmuted.
Yes.
This is being live streamed in YouTube, so all the participants will be viewing it from YouTube.
Okay, cool. All right.
Only almost 10% of the people who registered are IEEE members. That is the scenario.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Cool. So hey, this is Jhon from. I work for Amazon, and apart from that, I also I work for Amazon as a manager, and apart from that, I volunteer for IEEE various platforms like IEEE Xtreme and Foreign Society and so on and so forth. Right. So yeah. So I was asked by the invitee to talk about opportunities in industry after graduation, right? And that is something I've learned in the past 5 years, that whatever I learned probably in college was probably not enough to do really well or try to be competitive when I was looking for a industry opportunity once I graduated, right? So right, so this is something of like a learning that I had in the past 5 years about how uh, what I learned and what I had to unlearn. So let's just go right. Cool. So putting it right there, honestly, what is going on right now? We have so many engineers that graduate every year, uh, you know, and not all of them get a great job, or not all of them are, you know, uh, equipped with skills that they can compete in the job market to, get a great job, right? So, and that status is around 7.2%. That's currently right, and the millions of people that graduate every year. How many of you do you think would actually, score a great job? Not a lot of them. So
இந்த ஃபீட்பேக்
what do you think?
அது
So
போட்டிருக்காங்க,
what I'm going
போட்டாச்சு
to
சார்,
talk
ஆல்ரெடி
about
போட்டாச்சு.
is
டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷனில் இருக்குது, அது போட்டிருந்தார் ஒருத்தர்
some
பார்த்தேன்.
unconventional job opportunities that you might
அது
have
அவங்க
that
ப்ராப்ளம்
require
சார்,
the same
நம்ம
amount of
நல்லா
skills
கிளியராக கேட்கல,
that
கிளியராக இருக்கு.
a lot of conventional
Can you speak
and
aloud?
soft skills usually require.
அந்த பொண்ணுக்கு
We all
மட்டும்தான் இந்த
have
மாதிரி இருக்கு.
heard about software development, hardware,
திங்க் நியூ இன் திஸ் வேர்ல்டு சார், ஃபீட்பேக் லிங்க்.
right? But there are quite a
வாய்ஸ்
few
இஸ் நாட்
job
கிளியர் சார்.
roles
பிரியதர்ஷினி அந்த பொண்ணுக்கு மட்டும் தான் இந்த மாதிரி வருது.
which are inspired by a lot of startups and a lot of non-conventional needs that a lot of companies have, and because of that, uh, and because of that, we have a lot of job opportunities right now in different fields. And how do I know this? Because a lot of IEEEs are kind of tuned to be open-minded. They take a different path, and that brings every opportunity for them to start a startup or hire people with different skill set for a job which needs different skills, right? So we'll see something of that sort. Cool. Right. So first of all, once when you are in your undergraduate or your masters, right? List out all your goals that you want to achieve once you graduate or before you graduate, and we start working towards it as early as possible, right? If you want to win the Richard E. Mervyn Scholarship, or if you want to win the Epsilon Phi Epsilon student scholarship, if you want to win the Larry Kivelson Scholarship in IEEE, so on and so forth, right? So make a plan, be strategic, and work towards it, right? Similar thing for scoring a job after your college. If you say that, hey, I want to be a software developer, talk to a software developer, see what goes into being a software developer or a software engineer, and start working towards it, right? Because a lot of software or a lot of skill sets that's required right now for a software developer are not readily taught at a college level, right? And this was the case when I was graduating college, or when I was leaving college back in 2015, and unfortunately that has not changed, right? But people have started getting smarter. A lot of students usually go back to they go back to different courses and different skill sets that they learn while being in college. And what happens with them once they graduate, they have an advantage over other people, right? For example, if someone who has learned Python over the years in college, because it was not taught in the regular sessions, regular classes, he has a much bigger advantage over other people because he has learned Python, and he can say that in the interview that, hey, this is what I did. I learned Python, the R scripting language, or I learned the other scripting language, and this is what I did, right? So it's much better than a lot of you guys. So the whole point that I'm trying to make is, when you join a professional organization like IEEE or or any other professional organization. I personally like IEEE because I was a member of other organizations as well, and IEEE has been something that has always kind of given me more than anything else. Right, I've been a part of IEEE for about 9.5 years now, and something I know for a something I know for a fact is that the opportunities that you have here, the leadership skills that you get here are unparalleled to anything else, right? So that is what I would like to do. I would want you guys to do as well. Moving on, right? Yeah, my most favorite advice that I would like to give, because this is what I got as an advice from an IEEE conference that I attended back in 2012, about 8 years back, right? The speaker was uh, from the US, an IEEE senior member, and his first slide, when asked for what should students of the current generation should do differently, was to read books, right? And he stressed about the value of knowledge that you get from reading all of these books. All right, so uh, I would actually want you guys to do that as well, because I'll be very honest. The amount of time or amount of learnings that I've got from reading a lot of books, reading a lot of different kinds of books is enough, right? I spent a lot of my time reading books. I was famous for this back when I used to attend conferences as well. I remember I came to the Madras section for the first time in 2013 for the All India Congress in Amrita University, and I had a bunch of books in my bag because I wanted to read them while on the train journey back from Coimbatore to Chennai, Chennai to Hyderabad, right? So I was known for carrying a lot of books and reading them whenever I had free time. And this habit kind of continued, and over the years, I've been able to read so many different kinds of books, and I'm always able to have an edge over other people because uh, I'm able to have a command over certain aspects of history, certain aspects of financial management than most of the other people, right? So, reading books is very personal. You can always go back and you know uh, read as much as possible. Nobody's going to stop you, right? And it's completely something that you would do from the comfort of your house, right? And yeah, that's probably it. And one more thing I should probably remind or probably tell you was about 2.5 years back, I came to Madras section again for the Computer Society Congress, and we had a speaker from Zoho named Rajendran Datlapani, and he gave out a list of books that he read that helped him during his time as a leader in Zoho. I mean, he's still a leader there, and it's been 2 years. I'm almost finished with the 7 books that he uh, advised me to read, or advised the whole audience to read, and it's the knowledge or the learnings that I've gotten from those books were immense, right? So read books as much as possible, and this will help you in giving you opportunities after graduation. All right, moving on. Right. So one of my favorite, you know, uh, jobs that opportunities that I would like you to guys to pursue after graduation is product management. Not a lot of people, know what a product manager is. I got to know back in 2013 when somebody from your own section, from Madras section named Navas, joined a company called Fresh Desk. I mean, he did not join Fresh Desk right away. I think he joined Lemma Labs, and after that, it got acquired by Fresh Desk, and he did something of product management, which was not known of or not heard of or not very popular enough back then, like about 8 years back, right? Now it's probably very popular. So what do product management or product managers do? They know about the company's product or the aspect of what all goes on into it, right? And they have a background in user management, user engagement. They know what are the technical aspects that goes behind all of these products, like what software they run on what code they were written on, or what are the general bugs and what are they using to fix them, and so on and so forth, right? So basically, a product management is somebody like a mini CEO who knows everything about that process, right? Cool. I would probably, if I can Ramayana, can I ask questions to the audience, or will they not able to answer? Will they not able to answer?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, okay, cool. So, what I like to ask in this particular slide is three questions actually. How many of you have heard about a site named Glassdoor? And second, how many of you understand by what a product manager is? Yeah, but
Hello.
yeah, yeah.
Mr. John, there is no answer, it seems.
Okay. Can you also give me the YouTube link?
Um, just I'll send you through email. You just continue with your presentation.
Okay, all right. Because if there are any questions in the chat window, I might able to answer it.
Okay. Just I will send you the YouTube link. You can proceed forward.
Okay. All right. So, one of the famous, product managers or CEOs that come to mind is Steve Jobs, because he was both the CEO of the company and the product manager. In fact, probably one of the first product managers who kind of defined what the role was, right? So different skill set that you would probably need are collaboration, communication, listening, project management, strong project management, and so on and so forth, right? So this is a career that you should, or you might be able to pursue after college, right? And this is not something uncommon, and we have quite a lot of, you know, um, people who pursue this field. And if you're really great at owning a product or managing it from top to bottom, it's a very great skill or very great opportunity that you guys can work at, right? And Glassdoor is a website where you can actually go and check a lot of jobs, how much they pay you, and how much they uh, what skills that is required, and so on and so forth. So if you're not on Glassdoor right now, go and make an account and try and see what kind of jobs that might interest you. All right. This is also, I should probably also tell you that this is something that I would like to do in the future. In Amazon, we have a lot of project managers and product managers. And right now, I do work as a manager, but I do very limited product management, and maybe in the future I might be able to get into it as well. All right, moving on. Okay, computer information and system management. Again, something that Amazon, kind of hires a lot, right? If you have a science degree, or if you have a computer degree, right? You can always get into an IT or a system management in a company, right? In a company like Amazon, or in a tech company like Amazon, Microsoft, Adobe, all of them hire people of these sort. And the part about this, the thing about this was, uh, these jobs were never there, about 3 to 5 years back or 10 years back, and right now they're in great demand, right? So if you're able to, if you're really great at system management, or if you're really great at, you know, if you're really great at servers, this is a really great job that you can look at, right? And since there's not a lot of competition, or there's not a lot of, you know, um, let's say demand, or I'm sorry, not a demand, it's just not a lot of publicity about this, it's very easy to do something of this sort, right? Cool. Moving on.
Mr. John, I have sent you the link of the YouTube stream.
Okay, thank you. Cool. This is my one of my favorite topics, digital marketing, which again, something is not there about 10 years back, right? And now it is there, every week, right? So let me quickly open a tab. Give me a minute. Right. Okay. Right. So we know by digital marketing. So digital marketing where uh, you are hired or you are recruited, you know, uh, do marketing of a specific product, right? And different kinds of and different kinds of resources and so on and so forth. Uh, and right now, and in 2020, so many people that are employed in this particular industry, digital marketing, right? And in 2014, Amazon did not have a lot of digital marketers. In fact, we did not need a lot, but I think we sort of have a different new marketing department right now, just created about years back for this, right? So digital marketing is something that is going to be a buzz, right? A very high paying, and companies big and small are willing to pay a lot of money for experienced and creative professionals. So what do digital marketing or digital marketers need? They need great programming skills. Great uh, design skills, and should be able to talk to people and so on and so forth, right? And you know what else? When you try to search for buzzwords in Google, right? So digital marketers' job is to make sure that, let's say, if you uh, search for pizza, right? The pizza brand that he is marketing should be there on top of your search result, right? Something of that sort. So that's what digital marketers do, and it's growing as fast as possible. And if you are looking for a career which involves a lot of marketing, a lot of talking to people, a lot of creative stuff like designing and doing graphic design, video design, product design. This is an amazing, you know, uh, job career or job opportunities that you can look at. And every startup or every company has a opening for digital marketers that you can actually go and search for. Search in Glassdoor, search in LinkedIn, and you can always start small. And by the time you're about 5 years into that particular role, you'll be an expert, drawing a handsome salary, right? Moving on. Cool. Software QA engineering is also something which I really admire. QA is quality analyst, right? So if you are really great at finding bugs and testing testing software products, right? So this is a job for you, right? So every company delivers a software product once in a quarter for their clients to meet their demands and so on. And testing is required to see if the development, release, and acceptance has all gone smoothly or not, right? So development is a really important part, and the scope of the software testing is increasing day by day, right? And additionally, because of existence of big data, IoT, and cloud, you have so many great products coming in day by day, and it, it pays very well to tester for one organization or the other. And you can always be a freelance tester or a freelance software QA engineering person, right? Because I keep looking at jobs on LinkedIn which give you a one-time cash or one-time check for testing a particular software and giving as much honest feedback about it as possible, right? So this is something that you might want to look at as well. If you're great at software engineering and you want to pursue a course or a pursued career, this is a place to be. Cool. Again, UI and UX designers. I'm not too sure how many of you know what user designer is, or a user interface is. So UX designers are one who kind of design how you navigate on an app or a website and so on, right? For example, if my company Amazon is running a promotion, it is show on the top of the screen. A user experience designer is how the whole product should be and how the whole outlook on the website should be and so on. And similarly, if you open the application on the phone, the UX designer makes sure that on the phone it's compatible and you're able to open every aspect of the website and so on. UX and UI designers are very important right now, and every company needs them, right? So if you're able to master this design, these courses, you have a lot of job prospects in the future, and every company needs them. Uh, I know that for a fact because I personally like user interface as well. I like designing them as well, but doing them is, I'll say, slightly difficult, but it pays a lot of money if you are a UI UX designer, right? Moving on. Right. One of my favorite you know jobs, because this is something that I used to do in IEEE called the social media manager. Meaning, if there's ever an event or ever a promotion or something like of that sort in IEEE, I used to make sure that my let's say I volunteer for the Vibe and Region 10, right? The Facebook page, the Instagram page, WhatsApp groups, everything has information about that particular promotion of that particular event or that particular webinar or lecture or conference platform and so on, right? And it's really amazing how much these jobs pay, because everybody is looking at marketing, right? And from digital marketers to social media managers, this is a job in demand right now. And the best part is, if you might have guessed by now, you don't actually need a degree or some sort to actually get a job this, right? You just need to be proficient in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or any other platform in which that particular company is advertising on, right? So Amazon hires a lot of social media managers. A lot of my friends are social media managers. They handle the Amazon.in page. Uh, Very amazing work that they do, right? And these come with the challenges as well, because you have to deal with a lot of people. But a really amazing job if you are very, very serious about it, right? And a lot of startups also need social media managers. Uh, you might think that it might be a very easy job. It might be. It requires a lot of skills and courage to actually do this particular type of job. Cool. I'll just quickly go over to the chat box to see if there are any questions in the meantime. Okay, I don't see a lot of questions. Cool. I'll just quickly move on. Data manager, right? I think immediately that comes to your mind if you're a computer science student is database management, right? DBMS, and this is something very similar. In fact, very, very similar, right? So a data management manager is someone who stores and organizes data using any software that he likes or the company designates him to do. And his job is to make sure the data is stored, and whenever somebody is asking for a specific data, is able to access it and give it to them, right? And again, does not actually require a degree. If you're really good at SQL queries and SQL injections, this is an amazing job opportunities that you guys can get once you graduate, right? And the salary that you draw from these particular job roles are immense as well. Not a lot of people knew what a database managers were earlier, but right now everyone is looking for a scope or a field in this particular job, right? I know for a fact that a lot of software companies have a database manager, a lot of them actually, for different kinds of bases, and they try to do this as much as possible. Right. Moving on. Computer programmer, kind of a misnomer, but something very different from computer engineer or a software engineer, right? What a computer programmer does is he writes, creates, and he tests the code himself, and he or she is expected to be proficient in a lot of languages that the company requires, and you know, uh, they are expected to deliver the task soon as possible, right? So computer programmers can be of various varieties and various qualities. They can be backend developers or front end developers and so on, right? And what you can also do is you can put a specialization in certain types of tools, and some companies might need specialization in Tableau that you can go back and learn and get back and say, hey, we are really great at Tableau, or we are doing really great in this. And if you're really good at one particular software, you will always find people that can hire you, right? So that is something that I would like you guys to venture a focus at. And what else? Yeah, something else that I learned is that being jack of all trades in a software company or in a job market right now helps only a bit, right? But if you are if you're absolutely brilliant in one or two softwares, right, you will be able to get or land a job uh, in a particular job market very very readily. I speak this out of experience. I tried to learn as many as I can, but was never able to master one. And in only last couple of years, I was able to go back and spend a lot of my time and energy in couple of softwares and couple of widgets, and I was able to do really really good in those. And right now, I'm able to do very well in whatever projects I take up just because of that particular change. Right. So computer programmer is still my favorite. Again, lot of money to be made, because ultimately, let's be honest, if you're looking for a great job, you're always looking for a respectful compensation or a respectful salary that you get at the end of the month or at the end of the day, right? So yeah, that's something. Cool. Before I start with this, let me just go back to the chat. Okay, Hera was saying that Priyadarshini from the audience asked how to improve my knowledge. Again, Priya, that's a very, very vague question. I'm not so sure exactly uh, what you mean by improve your knowledge. If you're looking for certain, let's say, I want to learn Python programming, or I want to improve my scope in Java, I think the best thing I can advise is to go online uh, and go online and see if you have any, if you have any courses, or if you have any tutorials that you can find, and so on and so forth, right? So you can find a lot of free tutorials and so on, and yeah, I think that's how you need to do it. In fact, I have something that I can actually guys, but just give me 1 minute. I'll just quickly mute myself and search for that thing, and I'll get. Just give me a minute, all right? Hey, thank you for waiting. I was just reading all the questions that were there. So what should I do if I want to pursue a career in business analytics, and what are the skills that I should have? In fact, that was my next slide, Anas. To be very honest, let me just quickly go there. In just give me a second. So wait, come back. So database manager is some also known as a data analyst or product analyst. In fact, uh, Rama, are you on the call?
Yeah.
Hey Rama. So what I did was, can you like mute yourself? Thanks. Hey Rama, what I did was I invited a friend from a digital market field, right? He was a previous IT member as well. So I think he will probably request to join this particular session via your Jason's client. And I wanted him to talk about what digital marketing is for about 2 minutes. That should be all right now.
Yeah, you can just share the link and do it.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks, Ram. I'll let him know as soon as he's ready.
Okay.
Cool. Anas, see that you asked the question, what should I do if I want to pursue a career in business analytics, and what are the skills that I should have? Right. So database management is something that I would like you guys, like you to have if you are doing business analytics, right? Something you can also learn is Microsoft Power BI, or a really amazing software or database management tool called Tableau, right? Tableau is something that I use and at work on a regular basis, right? And you have a lot of courses online, or I think uh, a lot of these coaching centers which teach you uh, which teach you this particular thing, right? All right. Also, Anas, I have something else to add to that answer. I will get back to you once I'm done with this particular slide. All right. Hey Rama, are you online?
Yes, sir.
Hey, can you take a look? I think Sesha, it's time to join the call from your server system. Can you accept?
Yes, sir.
Uh, a friend of mine is trying to join the call from the link that I sent him.
Okay, sir.
Mr. Jhon, you can continue. Just I will let him and don't worry. I'll take.
Okay, because I have to ask him a couple of questions about the slide that I'm on. Just let me know once it's done. Cool. I'll just quickly go over to the YouTube chat and check if you guys have any posted any questions there.
Hello, Jhon.
Okay, voice is too low. What the audience is saying. Rama, can you actually try to see if there's volume is increased? Cool. Isha, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mr. John, volume is too low because we are streaming it live concurrently.
Right, right.
That is the
Okay.
reason voice is too low. Don't worry, we are working on it. We are working
Okay.
on it.
Hey, Sesha. Glad you could join me. So for everyone watching this, Sesha is a digital marketing professional, a friend of mine from a really long time back, right? And I wanted him to join the call to actually tell you what he does with digital marketing and what does what skill set is probably required to be really good at this particular digital marketing field. And he's an engineer just like all of us, somebody who actually chose a digital marketing field because he was very very good at it, right? So over to you, Sesha, if you can take a couple of minutes to tell the audience you know something about what you do.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, John. And hey, everyone. Firstly, hope everyone is safe, staying at home, right? So, coming to the field that I'm in digital marketing right now, uh, I am into planning and execution as well. So, what digital marketing is all about? Like, let's say, you open your Instagram feed, or you go to TikTok, or you go to Snapchat, or Facebook, or YouTube. You see the ads everywhere. Why do you think you're seeing the ads? Point number one. Point number two, what are the ads that you're being targeted with? Point number three, is this ads actually relevant to your mind? Right. So all these questions do come up in your mind when you generally come across the ads, or you might be feeling like, why am I seeing the ads? And you might just get bored, like I'm being shown the ads repetitively multiple times. I'm sorry, it is all because of us guys, we guys, that you see all these ads. But yeah, it's mainly because of how should I put it? There are advertisers who want to showcase their ads to the right set of audience, and we help them figure out the right set of audience. Okay. So like, let's just say if there is a gaming laptop, right? So whom do you think would be the right people to reach out to, or who would be the person who would buy a gaming laptop? Definitely a person who's interested in gaming. So you need to understand their behavior. What do they do? What kind of sites they visit? What is their persona? When I say persona, it is basically their behavior online. Do they visit gaming sites, or are they interested in technology? Are they looking for something like, let's say, graphic cards or anything based on that? That shows an interest that people are inclined towards a certain product, right? So we help figure out all these points, data points, and give a relevant strategy, wherein the client can reach out to a specific set of people to display their product. As simple as that. So, in this manner, what we do is we help them figure out what are the right platforms as well, right? So you know the behavior, you also know the sites that they reach out to, right? So that's how we help reach the audience and show the particular ads.
Hey, hey, Sesha, thank you for that insight. I mean, really really helpful.
Yeah.
Just the last question before I let you go. Somebody from the audience actually did ask this on the YouTube live stream. So what he asked was, what kind of softwares you were expected to, learn, or you learn to get into this field and to be as good as you are. I mean, as good as you are right now.
To be precise, I'll tell you about my experience, because each and every one's path is very different. All right. I luckily got in this field through Accenture and Google, and where I was working at Google offsite, and that's how I got into digital marketing field. All right. But let's say if you are a fresher who's coming out of a college, right? So always keep an eye on companies which are readily looking for the starting role, where they kind of help trained. Initially, it's like you definitely have a training phase, and then they would be hired, something like a management trainee, and they would become a permanent post probation. So that's one way. Second way is if you are really interested towards digital marketing, pretty sure you can find courses online, maybe Udemy, or there is Upgrad or Talent Edge where you can definitely pursue courses and get certified. There are certain courses which also help you in placement. So keep a keen eye on that, but also do not fall prey to wrong advertisements where they say we also assure placement guarantee. Right? So always be aware of such things. But yeah, that is one thing. And let's say if you have to upskill yourself, I'll be very upfront. You should be very good with Excel. Point number one. You should be very good with analytical skills, like let's say in terms of data analysis, right? And the third point I would definitely say is like, let's say you should have a keen observation in and around your surroundings. A simple reason being, each and every advertisement that you might see might be reaching out to certain audience, right? So have a thought or think out of the box. Am I seeing the ad? Am I the right audience or not? So you try to develop that kind of a mindset, which will definitely help you more inclined towards the digital marketing mindset. Let's just say, for example, uh, there was this ad by Swiggy, which was about delivering food, right? It was once there was gulab jamun, once there was okra, or also called bhindi sabzi. So if you look at the type of ads that were shown, it was shown with a different messaging. One was shown with the elders, one was shown with the people who are interested toward kids, who is actually into bhindi. Or if you remember Maggie ads which were shown, where where a kid was actually upset that his entire day was going bad, and having a tastemaker change the entire mindset of us. So although we might not relate it instantly, but just have a mind or a keen eye towards it, try to analyze, and definitely would build interest towards that. Yeah, I hope I've answered the question. Or
Yes, Ish. I mean, very, very insightful. Thank you. Uh,
yeah.
right. So, I mean, just to conclude, because you said you work for Google and Accenture both, right? So, just to conclude that, or probably derive a conclusion that Google and Accenture do hire a lot of digital marketers to work on their projects. Correct?
Uh, I have no clue how the trend right now is, because that was my initial phase of my career where, like I said, I luckily stepped into Accenture, and then I got to know I am being taken into digital marketing field altogether, and that's how it started. Right now, I have no insights on how they are actually collaborate working right now. But yeah, like I said, keep a keen eye on the market, how the ads are, or maybe how the jobs are in terms of digital marketing. But it is pretty sure digital marketing is the boom right now, and you can definitely see an increased trends in hiring and also in terms of spends from the advertisers. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, because a lot of people are spending a lot of money on advertising, you might be able to see a lot of digital marketing scope. Right.
Yes.
So people, I mean, that was Sesha. He worked as a digital marketer and Bangalore. And thank you, Sesha, for joining and telling the audience about what you do. Thank you so much. Also, I have a friend as well. So she is a she works with a lot of data. She has a PhD from IIM Ahmedabad, and I mean, a really great friend and someone who is very articulate about the work that she does. Chetna, if you're on the call, I was telling the audience about a lot of data related fields or data related jobs that are popping up, and some questions from the audience were also how they can pursue a, a career in business analytics and what skills that they should have or what they should learn as a college student right now, and how they can go about it. If you can probably tell something about what you did as when you were going in this field and what you would advise to them. Hey Rama, is that a problem? I think she's not able to speak.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Very much. Thanks, Chetna.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So thank you for introducing me, Jhon. Um, so everything apart, data has now become. I mean, it is called the oil of tomorrow or today as well. At one point, oil was the gold, and now data is the oil. So it is very important for every company to leverage the data that they generate, the data that they get, and drive their company towards success. So personally, I mean, in my role as a data science product manager in my company, I have seen that it couldn't be more true. Um, the thing is that no matter which company you join or which kind of job that you do, data is your friend. So I understand that there might be people who are really scared of math or really faint at the sight of numbers. But trust me, it need not be that hard. For people who are into quantitative fields, um, statistics, knowing basic statistics is your first step towards analytical roles if you would like to work in such fields in the future. Apart from that, one thing that is really important is data visualization, which is basically your graphs, looking at charts, um, basically visualizing any kind of data into patterns that people can understand. So the two skills that you really require is first being able to handle Excel sheets, um, being able to crunch numbers. And by crunching, I wouldn't mean using sophisticated models or complex mathematical equations. You should be able to understand how to summarize your data, talk about the average, the minimum, the maximum, maybe graph it out. So these are very basic skills that are expected from the field. And apart from that, the other thing that is required is to know at least one coding language. And these days, Python has become very easy for people to pick up. So I would suggest Python as a first language if you're not familiar with any coding in the past. Um, so the thing with Excel and Python is that they're very easy to learn. The learning curve is pretty simple, and also they are very versatile. You can do a lot of things with them, and you don't really have to spend money. There are a lot of, I mean, Excel comes with your laptop anyway, so you could just explore different functions, see how they go. There are a lot of YouTube channels that show how each function in Excel. And also, there are a lot of free YouTube channels that teach Python different packages, different libraries, and they also throw in a little bit of visualization packages. So one thing that you would uh, look at if you're trying to break it into analytics is data visualization, and I can't stress enough on how important it is. Because I would not want to see 1,000 numbers on a spreadsheet slapped on my face. But I would really be interested if those 1,000 numbers were put in the form of a simple line graph or maybe as a pie chart. So, so yeah, I mean, it's a simple first step to take, but I understand it's a very competitive field as well. So you really need to know the basics of statistics and then build from there. Of course, there are a lot of data science roles. There are machine learning engineers. There are core data scientists, data engineers, each with the basic understanding of the two. So yeah, are looking at a job in analytics, this could be your first step.
Hey, thanks, Chetna, for that crisp uh, definition of what you guys do. Also, at the start of the slide, I kind of the presentation I mentioned something about product management, which I mean something that I really like. Since you're a product manager yourself, right? Can you just briefly tell us what kind of skills that is required to do product management, or what do you guys do as a product managers?
Sure. I wish I could summarize product management in a sentence, but it's just so hard. But one thing that a product manager needs to know is his customers or her customers, because a product is just as good as its adoption by customers. So previously, what a product manager used to do was done by UX designers, UX researchers, and marketing managers. But now there are a lot more things integrated into the role, and it's like what they generally call a product manager is a mini CEO of the product, which means that every strategic decision taken to improve or even conceptualize anything about a product feature, maybe even as much as small as changing the color of a button, is a very intricate process. There's a lot of research that goes behind it. There's a lot of discussion that happens even to change a color from, let's say, blue to orange for a button, and where to place it, how to place it. All this is everything is a decision, and again, it ties back to data analytics. So you need to know what your customers need, what your customers behave like, and how they interact with your product, how to make it easier for them so that they get hooked to your product. That's what a product manager does. Try to get more people to interact easier and to adopt the product.
Thank you so much, Chetna, for that answer. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people wanted to know what that was, and you gave a really great answer. I think the next question is to Sesha. You know, uh, Dr. Gopi from the audience is asking you, what is the major role of digital marketing in this world? I mean, I know we are Rama. How much time do we have left for this session?
Sir, you can go as per your wish.
Oh, thanks. Okay, I'll not take a lot of time. Sesha, if you can probably answer that question, I mean, I think that will be very helpful. Thanks.
Sure. Sure. So, in order to address the role, we just need to understand first thing first. How was marketing done previously? If I have to say back in India, in the olden days, there was like people who used to roam around in auto rickshaws and talk in a loudspeaker. That was one way. The second way was newspaper, and the third way was through radio or TV channels, right? But now, as the world is moving into digital, when I say moving into digital, the people can now access internet everywhere. So now that people have more access to internet, it has become more easier to reach out through digital as a medium, and which also gives scope for the advertisers to have a wider reach. When I talk about reach, it depends on goals or objectives, but because people are now on internet, it is easier for uh, uh, let's say create awareness about a certain product. So digital is one such medium where you can definitely reach out to wider audience. That is the first thing. And let's say if I have to talk about creating awareness, let's say if there is a new product, all right. So how do you let people know that there is a new product in the market? So obviously, like I said, you need to understand what is the product about, who is going to use the product in the market, and find out the right digital medium channels. And using just these simple steps, although it doesn't sound as simple in terms of execution, but simply put, if I understand my audience behavior, if I understand the platforms they visit, I can showcase my ads. But just like how Chetna said, if there is a button, for example, there are companies which are into gaming, all right? So if there is a certain button, if I have to change the color, I remember one such event where they were talking about changing color of a button has actually increased people investing in that app. For example, let's say if there is an app, if people go into the app and purchase certain thing, right? Just changing a color of that button has increased its revenue, right? So all these data analysis is also done, but digital medium helps you reach people. The second thing is the data is available right in front. For example, in the olden days, if I again go back, you do not know how many people have heard or have seen the ad or heard the ad on the radio at a given point of time. But with the digital medium now in place, you are certain about the people whom you are reaching out to, the kind of behavior the people have, and all that data. Taking that into account, you can come up with your own analysis, and you can create a new pipeline in order to, let's say, if you launch a new product, you have certain data points backed out, and you'll apply the strategies based out of that. I know it's like too vast uh, uh, in terms of an answer, but this is the simplest form that I could give the role of a digital marketer. I hope that addresses the question of Dr. Book.
Yeah, I mean, let me just quickly go back to uh, the chat to see if there are any more questions. Oh no, I don't see any questions. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, she's happy with the answer. Cool. I mean, that was my last slide, to be very honest. I do not have any other slides apart from that. Oh wait, I totally forgot. The last slide was about support specialist. That's something every company is trying to hire, right? So again, I think this is something that you can easily get into if you are really good with people, and if you have those skills of talking to people and so on and so forth, and if you are really good at support softwares, or if you are really tech savvy, this is something you can do. And according to Glassdoor, again, pays really handsomely if you're willing to go into that particular field. Also, the aim of every job or every opportunity that you have here is that move up the ladder after some time. So even if you join as a support specialist, you always have the opportunity to grow up as a manager or a program manager and so on and so forth. Right. So that is something I would like you guys, kind of like a parting thought. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. You can always email us. And yeah, I think that's about it. Cool. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll probably just wait for about a couple of minutes or few more minutes after that. And then probably, if you have any other questions, you can always reach out to us later. Hey guys, if you guys want to email me, you can email me here. You can join me on LinkedIn or connect to me on LinkedIn there. Some questions that you would like to immediately get answered, you can always drop a text on Instagram. I'm not really active on Facebook. I mean, not on Messenger. If you send me a text, I will probably not be able to answer. But if you email me, I'll promise I'll reply back to you in about 24 to 48 hours. Instagram, I'll try and reply back as soon as possible. LinkedIn as well. So that's my contact information if you have any questions later. And that's about it. And oh, hey, yeah, I totally forgot. Everyone keeps asking me if there are any internship opportunities or something of that sort. You can always go to this link. Since you're from the Madras section, we do have a really huge Amazon office back in Chennai as well, which regularly has a lot of interns, a lot of full-time employees and so on, can always look for opportunities there. And that's about it. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Legovan. It's really nice to actually talk to you again. We met a very long time back at a congress, I remember. And thanks to the Jensen's IEEE student branch for kind of hosting this entire event, for coordinating. Rama reminded me yesterday that we had about 650 participants as audience. So I really hope everybody was able to take something back. If you guys have any questions, I promise I will answer them. If you can reach out to me in this following platforms. And thank you so much. If you do not have any questions, I think we are done for the day.
Mr. Jhon, thank you for a wonderful session. I hope we don't have any session in the comment sections. We started getting comments that very informative sessions. So we wholeheartedly thank you for accepting our invitation in your busy schedule and giving us your valuable time. Hope in the next time we'll make it much bigger with much wider audience. Thank you. Thank you for all the participants. Thank you for all the participants. Yeah, you can go.
I should also thank Sesha and Chetna for joining. And you know, I mean, they have a very busy schedule as well. Thank you for taking the time out and joining us.
Thank you, ma'am and sir, for taking out your busy schedule and being with us. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This session was informative. I will get back to you in another session day after tomorrow. Thank you.
என் பண்ணிட்டோமா
ஃபீட்பேக் லிங்க்
வேலை செய்யாது
Thank you guys. Take care.
டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷனுக்கு தான் போட்டு